Welcome to the CU Event Center. We're in Boulder, Colorado, home of the CU Buffs, of course, Lady Buffs, and for 4 nights, home to the Colorado High School Activities Association State Championships in both 4A and 5A boys and girls action. It's time for the big boys to get after it here at the Event Center. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Corey Lopez. We're glad you're along with us here and listening in. Late games, even in the Mountain Time Zone here. 7 o'clock and 8:30 for the second matchup. Here's who we have for you this evening. And this ought to be a shootout in game number 1. Arapahoe matching up against Rangeview here. And in the 8:30 game, for the right to move on to the finals on Saturday night here at the Event Center, it will be Highlands Ranch and Chaparral. Tough to tell how that one is going to finish out. Those two teams really switching off as number 1 teams throughout most of the regular season. And Highlands Ranch got hot late. Chaparral's played well all season long. So let's talk about this matchup here. And for Arapahoe, they are vying for their first state championship in boys basketball for them. They've got to win 2 to get that done. Going into the grade 8 last week, they were one of the hottest teams, certainly rolling into this one, as Arapahoe had gotten the first round bye, top seed out of their region, which was the John Casey region. They ended up getting by Grand Junction fairly easily, 52-24, then beat Legend in overtime to get to the grade 8, 75-67. And then Arapahoe able to take care of business as they matched up against Thunder Ridge. Fantastic game. Arapahoe trailed after 1 quarter and then able to put it away late in the 4th quarter with a 19-16 run and win it 55-53. The final in that one. They were led by Shane Jensen, who ended up with 16 points and 5 boards, and Zach Coker, who finished with 18 points and 7 rebounds. They, of course, are playing without Tim Haas. Tim Haas, the leading scorer for this team throughout the regular season, averaging 20 points a game. But he's hurt, and he's the guy that's standing there in the crutches, greeting the starters as they make their way through. And for Haas, out for the rest of the season, the team has taken it upon itself to go win some games and push them all the way here to Boulder. And they'd like to come back here on Saturday for the 5A state championship. On the other side of things, Rangeview has won a state championship. That was when they were Class 3A way back in 1985. And I know I'm dating myself because that's when I was back in high school. They play in that league that has Aurora Central in, and that's about it. Between those two teams, they fight it out about every year, and it's usually Aurora Central that comes out on top. Well, Aurora Central beat them twice during the regular season. But for Rangeview, they were able to turn it around, certainly when they got into the playoffs and rolled, as they were hot, a 4 seed out of the R.W. Truscott region. And they were able to beat Chatfield 73-60 fairly easily in that one, and then beat the Pooter Impalas, who had pulled the biggest upset of the tournament early on by knocking out in the second round the 3-time defending state champions, Regis Raiders. That Cinderella story ended by Rangeview, and then Rangeview took care of business as they beat Cherry Creek, down 7-2 in the first quarter, and I mean at the end of the first quarter. They ended up coming back, outscoring Creek 13-11, still down at the half, but then a 20-13 run in the 3rd quarter. And really, what ended up putting it away for them was a big run, as they ended up going on a 10-0 run between the end of the 3rd and the beginning of the 4th, and ended up pulling away and winning it. And defense was the key in that one. I said this would be a shootout, but defense was the key. Last 31 seconds, they didn't allow Cherry Creek to get off a good-looking shot at all, and won it 47-46. Just about set to go here. We're going to have to re-jump this one. Wanted to make sure everybody was set here. Of course, as it was at the grade 8, we're going to have the automated whistles and the boxes that are on the back hips of the referees here to start the clock. So that's all worked pretty well here so far. Tip control by Arapahoe. They're the home team. They're in their home whites with the black numbers outlined in the gold. And, of course, Rangeview playing in the road blacks here with those red numbers outlined in white. Glad you're along with us here in Boulder as Jensen took a look, decided not to do anything with that one. The lean in, and it won't go. Boy, first opportunity, as we saw, for Shane Jensen to try to get his way inside. I was watching him try to work on the blocks there. Actually looked pretty good. And he was able to catch that in the high post and try to spin his way in. Ball knocked out of bounds. And here we go. Coker is wearing 21. Had to switch up in the middle of the grade 8 game last week. Got something on his uniform. May have been blood, may have been something else, but he actually ended up changing to 42. So he's wearing 21 here tonight. They've always got those backup jerseys with them just in case something happens. Coker, give it up. They bounce it down low. And again, Jensen's a guy who's got to do a lot of the scoring. Step inside, not there. Coker will give that up. There's Jensen, not going to shoot. Likes to drive inside. Tallest guy out there. 3 on the way. That one off the front of the rim. Evan Walsh trying to knock it down, but the lead ahead. Rangeview wants to get out and run. You saw Trey Bridges there, but he got outrun that time by Thomas Trotman, the junior, who gets the start here tonight. Jensen spinning inside. There's the baby bucket right there, and Jensen with the first points up. So Rangeview's first opportunity offensively now, about ready to go here. Glad you're along with us. This is what it's all about here. Starting to fill up at the event center as well as he pushes his way down low. Nothing there. We're going to watch these guys and talk about certainly these guys on the court. Drive over, no look pass and flipped out there. That was Ely, and Ely cannot get the bucket to go. Ely likes to get inside, but again, he's got Jensen in. Nice pass. Walsh pushed as he went through. No whistle. And away we go. Back the other way. Bridges with the basketball. Wants to give this up. Jeremiah Page had a huge game on Saturday. And Page, expect him to do the same. There's Bridges now working his way around. And Solaren is the leading scorer on the team. Didn't do that well in the grade 8, but that's what he can do. And has done throughout the regular season. For head coach Sean Palmer, and that is penetrate, stop on a dime, and drop the jumper. So we're all knotted up here as the teams kind of feel each other out. Walsh with the basketball will give it up, and you see Bobzine running the point here. At first it was Coker, but now Bobzine kind of taking control. High post, Jensen. And Ely's going to be on him most of the night here. Trotman will give it up. Walsh, that's a long 3, and it's good.
Evan Walsh for 3.
Walsh is a big guy, but he can knock him down. Drive inside, push up. That won't go by Bridges. Ely, big rebound, pushing his way in. There's the foul. He's headed to the free throw line. Boy, what a nice drive that time. Larry Bridges. And again, that's what you'll see from Coach Palmer's club, and that is a lot of penetration. Penetration and kick. Penetration and kick. But at the same time, they are very aggressive. For Palmer, what a run for this Rangeview club as they push their way through as the 4 seed and have themselves a 22-4 record this season. It's just a great, great season for them to get here. Ely drops the first free throw through, and he's got another one coming. Out of that North Aurora Conference there, not great competition through there, and that's just stating a fact that they don't get tough games once they get into conference play, except for playing Aurora Central, who is year in and year out a very good club. So you wondered how they do coming into the state tournament. Well, don't wonder anymore. They did have a nice bracket to make their way through, though, beating Chatfield, of course. And Chatfield was the 5 seed, so that was a closely contested game till the end, but they won most of their games by double digits. Jensen inside, fouled, and he's going to the free throw line.
Shane Jensen.
Jensen able to back himself all the way down underneath the basket, nearly, as he is pushing against Ely. Ely can't let him do that all night. He had pushed Jensen and kept him toward the top of the key and was pushing him out nearly the mid-post, but boy, Jensen had backed all the way down the lane and just waited for that basketball to come in. So an 8-4 lead. Jensen's got 5 of the 8 for Arapahoe here. On the dribble, Jeremiah Page. Page likes to create. Got a pick, tried to go the other way with it. Nothing there. Coker's covering him. Solaren working against Bobzine. And now Bridges. Trey Bridges, super fast, working against Trotman. He kicks to the corner. There's the 3. Missed it short. Coker the rebound. And away we go, ahead to Jensen. Jensen wants to slide through, drive in. Tough shot, rolls around and out. If these two teams want to run, it's going to be a track meet. They both can do it. Whoop! Bridges lost the basketball. Now Bobzine's got it. Got the numbers too. Bobzine all the way through. Nope, going to give it to Trotman. Swatted away. A little bit of anger might be in that one for the sophomore. Jeremiah Page lost it on the dribble as he tried to go inside, as you saw. But wow, there it is. Tried to cross over. Actually went off the foot of Coker. But I'll tell you what, Bobzine just needs to finish that one off. Walsh not enough time to shoot the three. How about Trotman? Airballed that one, but caught underneath. Oh, toe is on the end line. Well, they come away with nothing. The turnover yet for Arapahoe, unselfishness. And I'm telling you, that has been part of the key here this season. We saw the unselfishness for Rangeview in the grade 8 game when they beat Cherry Creek because Solaren was ice cold. There's a three. In and out, won't go. Cold shooting, he gave it up, was distributing and did a nice job in that game. Coker pushed out by Bridges, and here we go, Arapahoe's turn. Up by 4 here. Well, it wouldn't surprise me to go low scoring in the first quarter or so. Obviously, Rangeview only put up 2 points in the first quarter in the grade 8. Jensen turns and shoots that three. Won't go, and now Bridges with the rebound and ready to go. Got the numbers if he hurries. Kicks to the right side. Nothing for Bridges to do. A little fade away. And Jensen just put the hand straight up and stayed at his face. Trotman over to Coker, bounce down low. There's Bobzine, land of the trees for him, although the matchup against Bridges is pretty good. Drive in, ball taken away. Nice play. Ely with great hands at times. Solaren's going to wait, didn't have the numbers. Crossover on Bobzine, gets pushed, and we're going back the other way because he extended the forearm. Wow. Well, for Dan Snyder and Arapahoe, boy, oh boy. He has a nice run here, and it's a mission that they're on. For Snyder, last year they were beaten early on in the tournament. And for Dan Snyder, the head coach of Arapahoe, he was able to show, really, even with the team that lost their top scorer, what kind of character they have. Looks like Coker's going to the free throw line for 3 here. Boy, as Page jumps out. There's Dan Snyder, and I'll tell you what, it's a mission this year. They were disappointed in how it ended for them last year. Got knocked out early in the state tournament. A lot of expectations on them. So they've come back with a vengeance this year, and even losing Tim Haas, they're here at the Final Four, and they'd like to go a little bit farther. Coker's got 2 more here. Rangeview, by the way, the foul whistled on Page, and that's just his first. First opportunity for us to get a chance to see Austin Peterson, the senior, who comes off the bench, a high-energy guy, and really does a lot of the dirty work down low. I know he's 6'2", but he plays like a 4 or a 5. Coker knocks down 2 out of 3 there, and the lead grows here to 6. Again, typically, Rangeview, kind of a slow start. We've seen it happen, and then they just kind of pick up steam as the game moves along. We saw it happen against Cherry Creek last weekend. Bridges wants to go work here, and we'll give it up to Bridges. You can see Taven Sparks trying to cover Bridges there as well. Bridges, nothing there. The sophomore hands it off. Saunders, nothing. Inside, tough shot, went up, won't go, and there's that rebound. We talked about Peterson getting inside, but the penetration, Rangeview able to get inside, but they've got hands in their face. Jensen, drive inside, finger roll to finish. Sean Palmer's got to get a timeout on this one with a 12-4 deficit. The defense, they're allowing Jensen to be able to drive inside or even back his way down before he actually catches the basketball. So that's a bit of a problem. Ely is doing a nice job early on, but with 1:52 to go here, as you can see in this first quarter, suddenly that deficit continues to grow. This could be 2 games in a row where combined in the first quarter, Rangeview may not be able to get into double digits with the amount of points that they score. A slow start can kill you, but it's a team that is able to work their way back in. They're not used to being down when they play in their conference play. But they were down at the Denver Coliseum and worked their way right back in to beat Cherry Creek to get here. So we'll see what kind of plan they have. A little bit of defense. They probably want to lock up on Jensen. And a little pressure coming from Arapahoe here as Bridges will get it. Straight up man-to-man pressure, though. Sparks covering. Up top, Solera, little head fake up on Jensen. Jensen got a piece of that one. I'll tell you what, Saunders says, hey, you got a piece of my arm there. Referee's letting them go, and not a lot of contact necessarily between the teams, though. Bounce down low, there's Sparks. Nice give by Jensen, and the lead grows to 10. Well, Jensen 7 points tonight. Give him an assist on that one, certainly. Page with the basketball, big killer crossover in line to lane, and hey, look at there. Pretty stuff that time. Well, that's what the sophomore can do. You watch this as he makes his way inside just after the killer crossover there, and he got in Peterson and Coker. He just split them and finished it off strong. Bob Zine will check back in here for Trotman. In the meantime, Page in and out, loose ball, and grabbed by Peterson there as it rolled right to him. So an 8-point lead, minute 8 to go, as you can see here. Will the Arapahoe play for the last shot? They'll be patient on their offense. Up top, Jensen. Back to Bob Zine. Watches Jensen cutting through. Can he get it to him? Boy, nice bounce pass, but Jensen too far underneath. Ooh, Sparks, tough shot. Peterson, the tip, it won't go. Saunders has it now for Rangeview, and take that back. Saunders gave it off, and the drive inside. Tough shot. Tough shot that time from Page. Bob Zine now. Bob Zine, is he going to take it to the hole? Yeah. We talked about it before when Page turned it over. Bob Zine had it, decided to try to pass it off when he had an open look at the basket. And Solera has that one partially blocked, but he was standing out of bounds. It'll be Arapahoe basketball. That time, Bob Zine said, no, I'm going right to the hole with it. And Rangeview back on their heels defensively here, trailing by 10, 16-6. They'll sit Jensen down for the last 23 seconds here in this one, and why not? You get Coker on the bench too. You don't want any late fouls in a quarter. Peterson up top, so go for the last shot here. Peterson, great look down underneath. The shot up won't go. Sparks fouled on the rebound here. We're certainly not into the 1-and-1s yet, but it'll give Arapahoe 12 seconds to set up a little something. Foul against Page, that's 2 on him. They've got to sit him down at least for the last 12 seconds here. As Jordan Johnson, the senior, checks in here for the last 12 seconds of the quarter. Winner stays here, gets to play Saturday. Ooh, tough pass. That's a turnover now. Solera's got it, 8 seconds. What's Solera going to do? Stop, drive inside, going back the other way. Charging foul. And that'll be 2 on Gabe Solera. How about that? Bob Zine got down there quick enough and set himself up. And mind you, the arc that is on the floor there, that's for college. That has nothing to do with high school. You can stand under the basket if you need to. Peterson, tough shot, gonna go at the buzzer, no. Albin tried to catch and finish that one off, and that's where we'll end this first quarter. 16-6. Well, it's eerily similar to the Cherry Creek matchup that Rangeview had. They found themselves down in that first quarter, not getting into double digits. So, wow. Sean Palmer got some work to do with his boys. We'll take a quick timeout here on CHSAA.tv.
In 3A girls, it was Christian over Lawrence 52-26. Trinidad 42, Olathe 39. In 3A boys, it was Holy Family 61, CS Christian 41. And also in 3A boys, St. Christian 60, Manuel 38.
Back to the event center here. We're glad you're along with us through the first quarter. Pretty good shooting for Arapahoe, certainly, over Rangeview. Rangeview, I would say, not ice cold, but pretty close when it comes to their shooting percentage. 2 for 11. When they've had open shots, they haven't been able to knock them down either. It's been a tough run. In the meantime, for Arapahoe, 6 for 18. They're shooting 33%, but again, a 10-point lead. Drive inside, Bridges, tough shot there. Rebound, got it back, swatted away. Alvin got the hand on it here. Bobzine slows it for a moment, and the throw too high, and away it goes.
Checking in the game now for the Arapahoe Warriors, number 21, Zach Coker.
Rangeview's turned the ball over 4 times, and a little bit of foul trouble certainly coming. If you look at Jeremiah Page, he will check back into the contest here. He'll come in for DJ Harris, but he's playing with 2 fouls, so he's got to be careful. Trey Bridges, drive around Bobzine, kicks it out to Ely. Ely inside, tough shot, blocking foul going to go here. That'll be against Peterson, who got in the way that time, but boy, what a nice feed.
Mountain West, it's Colorado State University 80, TCU 61.
Now we're learning here that Colorado State up on TCU, maybe a final already. The Mountain West Conference is the Rams. I believe they're playing out in Vegas. That's what they like to do out there. Put the Mountain West. Rams got to win a couple. They want to make it to the NCAA tournament. Don't necessarily have to win it. So another free throw coming for Ely, who's 0 for 1 from the floor here. Hasn't had a lot of good looks. Jensen's been on him most of the time. Knocked down both free throws, though. So big shots just for Rangeview to kind of settle back in here in the second quarter and cut into that lead. They cut it in half now, 16-8. Jensen will give it up. There's Walsh outside. And again, that man-to-man defense extending all the way out to the arc. Coker not going to shoot it yet. Drives. Jensen will shoot. Too much on that one. Coker got a piece of it there. And let's see who it's on. Now, the referee underneath. Coker will be whistled for the fall. Looked like they were going to call it. Actually, the other way around. Watch here. Well, that's a 50-50 right there. But you can see pretty good position for Larry Bridges. Coker had come right into him. So Coker whistled for the foul. He's got a couple on him now. Page wants to reset. He'd like to have that ball in his hand. Drive inside. Tough circus shot, and it will go. How about that drive by Jordan Johnson, the senior? Part of the offense. You just keep looping around up top. You run it high, you get a pickup on the top of the free throw line there, and if you see some daylight, get inside. If you're not going to shoot it, kick it back out. Somebody will be standing outside on the arc. Johnson did a nice job of just taking it to the hole. Arapahoe able to take advantage of that first quarter on the turnovers, the 4 turnovers by Rangeview. They scored 4 points off those turnovers. No points scored off the 2 turnovers by Arapahoe for Rangeview. And 0 for 2 from the free throw line doesn't help. Jensen stops, whoop, got that ball stripped away. Ely, and out of bounds it goes. He's talking to the referee saying, hey. Ely wrapped around and knocked it away. It's pretty good defensive moves. You can see great camera angle there of what we had to take a look at. Page now will hand it off. Spin move. Look, down he goes and a walk. Larry Bridges, feet just got away from him there a little bit. Bridges, the junior in this. When you think about the youth on these clubs, certainly for Rangeview, they're playing sophomores and juniors a lot of the time. For Arapahoe, of course, their guy up top, Coker, for three, knocks it down. Coker, the senior, got in on a mission there. Ely with the offensive board, but he walked. Boy, Ely was right there into the basket, tried to dribble his way out. Take a look at this. Catch, that's a three in college as well, and he drops it. And Bridges just a little bit late getting over to him. So Coker, Bridges a little bit closer to him now. Bob Zine. And Jensen pops out, wants to drive inside. Got the lane again. The finger roll won't go. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Arapahoe. Walsh had a piece of it. And you can see that Johnson went tracking after that one as he knocked it out. An 11-point lead here for Arapahoe. Three by Walsh. Yes, sir. Walsh for three. Walsh has hit a couple of them. Solaren, time for him to go to work. Got double team. Bridges inside and a blocking foul. Bobzine got knocked to the floor that time. The two referees conferring there. One was going to call player control. Looks like the backcourt judge, I think, is going to get, oh, they're going to defer to the third official here. And he may just be asking if the basket went through. So he flipped it up as he was running into Bobzine there. What a nice play by Solaren. Watch this. Bridges inside. Well, he's still sliding that foot a little bit, wasn't he? Just a little bit. Larry Bridges coming around that pick. Again, you don't have to give him a lot of room at all. But he was still trying to get his feet down. So Bobzine whistled for his first, and they're going to give him the points as they should. Boy, that was a nice play. And I'll tell you what, for players, particularly guards, they will get the sense when you get hit, you're close enough, flip one up, see what happens. Now, he was already starting to bring that ball up anyway, so I don't think there was a question as to whether he was shooting. But that was a pretty tough shot after running smack dab into Jack Bobzine. Bridges will knock it down. Back to a single digit, back to an 11-point lead, that is. 5:21, as you can see, left to go here at the CU Event Center. The Final Four. Winner plays in the state championship on Saturday. And we'll play the winner of Highlands Ranch and Chaparral. That game's set to go at 8:30 Mountain Time tonight right here on CHSAA.tv. Bobzine, high post. Albin, well, not going to shoot. He'll give that one back up. Mitch Albin catching inside, little head fake, can't dribble it through. Boy, they just collapsed. Three by Coker. Won't go, too hard. The rebound by Ely. And now Rangeview will run a bit. Solaren stops there, wants to drive in. Got in the air, gave it up to Page, and Rangeview will set. Jumper from 15, ticks the front of the rim. The long rebound to Trotman, and away we go. Trotman gives to Bobzine, splits the defense, whistle there, and a blocking foul. And the foul's going to go against Harris, I believe, because you could see him just lean that left leg in a little bit. Hands were up by both Rangeview players, but just slid that left foot over. Watch here, see what happens. Oh, he just stepped in. Didn't even really lean in, but took that last step in. And for Bobzine, pretty good from the free throw line. Knocks it down. Jack Bobzine's been a little more aggressive here. One time he gave it up when he shouldn't have, and now he's taken it to the hole twice. 1 for 2. Goes to 12 here. Page will set it up for Coach Palmer's Rangeview club. Got a pick, drives inside, tough shot. Walsh came off his man. That's a little bit of what Rangeview would like to do a little bit more of. Boy, Albin got picked big time and was trying to catch up. And Page did a nice job just taking it all the way to the hole. And Albin got him from behind as he was catching up. That's his first. 17 fouls, so both teams will be in the 1-and-1 of the next fouls. As 16 fouls for the Raiders from Regis. Taven Sparks checking in for Arapahoe here. As in the meantime, Page trying to go 2 for 2 and does. Lead cut to 10, 4:19 to go. Sparks skip pass to Coker, high post. Peterson wants to try to spin his way inside. We're going back the other way. A little elbow there to try to clear some room, and Albin gets whistled quickly for his second personal. So 4 minutes to go here. And Rangeview starting to feel it a little bit. Drawn some fouls, but again, down by 10. Trey Bridges, inside, tough shot, kissed it straight away, couldn't get it. And a good rebound by Walsh, and here comes Arapahoe. Coker on the wing. Walsh going for 3 in a row. A little too deep that time. Peterson tried to track that down, saved it to Walsh, and ends up into the benches. Wow, and he's able to get back out. Everybody appears to be okay over there as they scattered. How about that? High post, kick it over. Sparks picked up the dribble now. And an elbow? Oh, you got 2 of them. Wow, doesn't like the arms coming out when they turn around. So that's 2 against Arapahoe. Boy, what a great save going into the stands. Man, oh man.
Number 5, Shane Jensen, and number 22, Austin Peterson.
Well, the foul there, and you've got to sit David Sparks down there. He's got a couple on him. Actually, that's just his first, but they have Bob Zine in. They got Jensen back in there. A little crossover. Page will give it up. Long 3 by Solera. Got it. Oh, that's what he started to do last weekend. Just whittled that lead down, and Solera hit a couple of big threes, and it put it right back in the game. He's doing it late here in the first half. Lead to 7. Peterson steps up. Nobody stopped him. He'll just go ahead and take the easy 5-footer. He was shocked. He'd been triple teamed every time he caught it up there. Rangeview changed the defense up a little bit, and suddenly he was wide open. Page working against Peterson. He'll drive inside, gets the step. Harris to finish. No, nice tip by Bridges. Trey Bridges right there. Shortest guy on the court, but he's got some instincts. He got up there and tipped it in. That's the first points for Bridges here tonight. That lead again cut back to 7. 2 to go. Bobsey looking. Jensen standing outside the arc. He just wants the basketball to try to go to work here. And they got it to him. He'll drive inside. Little pull-up shot, and it'll fall through. Just want to get him the ball and let him go to work. That's what happens. 9-point lead. Bridges cross it over. He had the mismatch there. Harris will give that up. Well, you had Walsh trying to cover Bridges, and it stays that way, as a matter of fact. They may want to get that ball back to him and let him drive again. Solera backing up. Gabe Solera, the senior. He's just looking for a little bit of room here. Bridges drive through, kicks it off. There's Harris. Blocked from behind. Walsh will get to it and block it. Tried to actually grab it out of the air, but could not get his hands on it. How about this move? Sweet dish. Got it from behind, trapped it on the bottom of the backboard there. Walsh was trying to hold on to it. Nonetheless, it stays with Rangeview here. Drive inside, and that's going to go against Albin. They're going to catch him down below, and a 1-on-1 opportunity now as Larry Bridges just driving from the top of the key. Well, and Peterson, that's 2 on him. Both teams are into the 1-1. Now double bonus time for Rangeview. That's actually the 10th team foul. So Larry Bridges, the junior, knocks down the first free throw. Trey Bridges, number 2 out there, just a sophomore.
And number 10, Jordan Johnson.
Another one coming here. See Coker checking back into the contest. A little more offense the last minute 8 here. Missed the second. So the lead is 8. Bob Zine to Jensen, touch pass. Coker, not enough time to shoot there. Gets it back to Jensen. He's going to spin in. Underneath, head fake. Alvin will finish.
Austin Peterson.
And correction, that is a Peterson down low. Peterson with the bucket. He's got 4. And actually got 2. Nice drive inside. How about that? Johnson, bench player for Rangeview, just finds a way to score. Limited minutes out there on the court, and it's tough when they go 9 deep. 3 by Coker. Yes, sir. And the lead back to double digits now. 18 to go. Bridges with Coker on him, wants to drive inside, all the way up top to Saunders. Saunders with the drive, he'll tip it again. Whoa, he gets off the floor.
Daniel Saunders.
Got a picture on Facebook, and a half-court shot. Jensen can't get it to go. Saunders dunking in the Sweet 16 game, and he was way up there. He showed a little bit of that prowess with that tip. Last points go to Rangeview, and they're able to cut it down to single digits here at the half. Arapahoe with the lead in the Final Four in Class 5A, up on Rangeview 32-23. We're back in just a few right here on CHSAA.tv.
Here's an unofficial scoring summary from the first half. First for the Arapahoe Warriors. Number 4, Jack Bobson has 3 points. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Number 5, Shane Jensen has 9 points. 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Number 15, Taylor Sparks has 2 points. Number 21, Zach Coker has 8 points. He's 2 for 3 from the free throw line, and he has 2 3-point buckets. Number 22, Austin Peterson with 2 points. Number 23, Mitch Albin with 2 points. And number 33, Evan Walsh with 6 points. That's 2 3-point buckets. Unofficial scoring summary for the Rangeview Raiders. Number 1, Daniel Saunders has 2 points. Number 2, Trey Bridges with 2 points. Number 4, Gabe Soler has 5 points. He has 1 3-point bucket. Number 10, Jordan Johnson with 2 points. 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Number 11, Larry Bridges has 4 points. 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Number 15, Team Ely has 4 points. A perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And number 22, Jeremiah Page has 4 points. 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Foul summary from the first half. Number 4 for the Warriors. Number 4, Jack Bobson has 1. Number 5, Shane Jensen with 2. Number 15, David Sparks has 2. Number 22, Austin Peterson has 2. Number 23, Mitch Alvin has 2 fouls. Foul summary for the Raiders. Number 4, Gabe Soler with 2. Number 15, Tim Ely has 1. Number 22, Jeremiah Page with 2. And number 34, DJ Harris has 1 foul. fans throughout the year, the student participants in the Colorado High School Activities Association enjoy the benefits provided by the following annual corporate sponsors: Wilson Sporting Goods, First Bank, Farmers Insurance, the Sports Authority, Wallace Photography, Big O Tires, TriStar Event Photos, IBM of Colorado, Echelon's Awards and Trophies, KOA Radio 850, Advanced Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Specialist, Kokolski Brothers Apparel, Max Press, and Runner's Roost. We thank these sponsors for their contribution to today's show.
Back to the CU Event Center here, the University of Colorado. Still at the half, the Final Four. We're watching the big boys in Class 5A here in Arapahoe with the lead after cold shooting by Rangeview. A lot of it the Arapahoe defense. Either team shooting over 50% at this point. Let's take a look at the highlights here from the first half. And got a few of them. Certainly Arapahoe, as they were able to kind of get after it. And for Rangeview, sliding inside from time to time, they're able to kind of penetrate. It was Arapahoe's prowess from outside the arc, though. Shane Coker knocking it down, and Coker 2 for 3 from outside the arc. Coker with 8 points here tonight, but big shooting for threes as Arapahoe's knocked down 4 of them. Walsh knocked down the other 2. You saw one of them right there. And Evan Walsh with 6 points. And how about this 3? That's NBA range, folks, as Gabe Solaren, the senior, knocks it down. That's only one of his 2 3-pointers, one of his 2 baskets from the bucket, I should say. And then Jensen and Coker, again, the prowess from up top, knocking them down here. So as we run down with seconds left to go, Arapahoe pretty balanced. On the other side of things for Rangeview, 28% from the field. They are 7 for 25 from the field here. Solaren's got a couple of personal fouls. Jensen with 9. He leads all scorers. He's got 3 rebounds, and he's got, matter of fact, he's got 2. He's got 2 personal fouls, and so 2 personal fouls for Zach Coker, who has 8 points for Arapahoe. So that's something we'll keep an eye on here. We'll see if it ends up being a problem for them. Rebounding wise, the edge goes to Arapahoe 21-17, and Walsh trying to pick up where he left off. Offensive board by Jensen, too high, and kicked it off the glass, and Coker's going to get called for going over the back. And that will be a quick 3rd personal right there on Shane Coker. So, or excuse me, on Zach Coker. So that's trouble. They're going to keep him in there, but he's going to have to be a little bit more careful. We're talking about the turnovers. 6 for both teams, but Arapahoe taking advantage of them, scoring 10 points off those 6 turnovers by Rangeview. Rangeview only able to score 3 off of those 6 turnovers. So there's a little bit of where that edge comes from. Free throws as well. Rangeview only from the free throw line 8 for 12, which isn't all bad. 66% if you can get that done. Drive inside by Bridges, won't go. Ooh, loose ball got away from Walsh, but right place, right time. There's Bob Zine, and back we come the other way. Jack Bob Zine been running the point most of the time. 3 points here, got himself a rebound as well, a couple of assists as you'd like. Jensen on the blocks, working there, spins in on Ely, cannot get it to go. A little bit short, he was calling for the foul, but he's not going to get the whistle. Drive inside, Bridges can't finish. How about that, Bridges? Larry Bridges got the offensive board and couldn't finish that off. Trey missed, Larry got the offensive board but couldn't finish it off. Down to the corner, Coker driving inside, got around Ely, and Taven Sparks flying through the lane, caught it in the air and finished it off. Boy, talk about the Energizer Bunny taking his way all the way from the other side of the court, never gave up and finished it off and drew the foul. For Sparks, bench player most of the time. Did not start here tonight. 2 for 3 though from the field there, and got 4, missed that free throw. But the lead to double digits again, it's 11 for Arapahoe. Winner goes on to the state championship, and the drive inside by Page. Jeremiah Page has not gotten a lot of looks. He can knock down the jumpers, doesn't mind knocking down the threes, but what he's really good at is driving inside. And that's, I think, something that Coach Sean Palmer probably talked to a lot of his crew about. We've got to keep penetrating. We're going to get these guys in a little bit of foul trouble, and the shots will come. Page knocks down the free throw. One more to come. It's got to be key for Rangeview, though. They really do need to find a way to get the ball inside. And I'm not talking about post players. Ely's not getting the ball, not getting a lot of touches down there. It's your backcourt penetrating, making Arapahoe have to make a decision, and hopefully foul is what they're looking at. Nice cut on the back door. Walsh head fake, got 2 in the air. Page as well as Ely couldn't help themselves. And a smart play by Walsh. Walsh now with 8 points. Bridges will give it up to Larry. Larry Bridges inside, left hand, can't finish it off. Got through there, had the opportunity, didn't come out of the left hand well. Stop and pop up top, a little short. And the rebound to Trey Bridges. Got the numbers if he hurries. 2-on-1, now 2-on-2. Tough bounce pass. And take it away there. Walsh has got it. And now Bobzine to lock it up for Arapahoe. Lead of 11. Jensen to spin inside. Tough shot. Oh, the deuce and the abuse. Jensen, watch how far he brings this one down. That was down by the hip. He knew Bridges was coming over. First foul against Larry Bridges, but Jensen will go to the free throw line here to complete the three-point play. And the referee still talking. I get a sense this crew hasn't worked together very much. Let's take a look at that play again and watch how Larry Bridges playing pretty good defense, but that spin move, and Bridges was just a half step behind it as he took a swat at it. All he did was hit him with the body. Didn't catch that arm, but hit him with the body, and that was enough. And now we're shooting, after a technical foul. And so it'll be Jensen with another one here. They will then shoot the free throws. Nope. I'll tell you what, they're going to switch it up. They're going to let Coker shoot the free throws here. Jensen knocked down his free throw, but now the technical fouls, and Coker knocks it down. So Jensen's shooting his free throw for the foul, and now Coker shooting the technicals. It is a different feeling when you're there all by yourself. It's like you're in practice, yet you've got a few hundred fans watching at the same time. Coker knocks them both down, so the lead extending 41-25. And Arapahoe gets the basketball. That's the tough break out of it too, with the technical that was called. So a big lead. Ooh, Jensen wasn't ready for that one. He's going to step back out. Had Ely right on his hip there, but he didn't even turn around and look. He could tell he had a couple of black shirts right on him. Good defense on Jensen to that high post. Backdoor cut, Coker to finish. Nice look by Jensen. Well, Coach Palmer's got to call a timeout right here. 5:01 left to go. Here we are in this third quarter, and suddenly it's getting away. 18-point lead. This is something I did not expect. And you think about the mission that Arapahoe has been on here with Tim Haas out for the rest of the season. Their leading scorer, they have just continued to plug along. They got through what was a overtime game to get into the grade 8. And look at the move by Jensen there. That's what triggered everything, because then there was some yapping going on and someone got lit up with a technical foul. So Shane Jensen with 12 points here tonight. He's playing with a couple of personals. Coker whistled for a third personal here early on in this third quarter, and he's got 8 points. Coker hit a couple of free throws on the technical here. As we see the Arapahoe cheerleaders, they're at one end zone, the Rangeview cheerleaders at the other end zone, and look at the crowd here tonight too. It is nice to see. There's some Raider fans right there making a trip here to the Final Four. Glad to see them come out, and they travel well. Both of these clubs, following high school basketball over the years, we've watched Rangeview fans always be able to travel well. Arapahoe fans always traveling very well. And why not? A little trip up to Boulder here to see if your team can make it to the championship on Saturday. These are the tough nights to get here sometimes because they're middle of the week. Ely inside, swatted away. Jensen got a piece of that one. And now Coker hustling the ball up here. He got by, driving inside, and we've got a foul. And Jeremiah Page actually ended up tripping up Coker there. He kind of landed on that elbow, didn't he? It will be on Page, though, as he was trying to keep up with him, and their legs got tangled up. Unfortunately, the guy who has the basketball is probably not the guy that's going to get called for the foul if he goes down. 18-point lead, and Jensen trying to extend high in the air, and that one's going up over the backboard and going to go get stuck back there behind the standard. And Arapahoe's keeping up the pressure here. A deny press coming. Tipped by Jensen, but there was nobody to help out, and now Ely bouncing through the lane, take it away. Coker side and read it. Coker back the other way. Ooh, he threw it behind Sparks. Sparks, he was in his lane and then started to sneak toward the basket. Coker was thinking he was going to go to the corner there. I know that's what you just could see it in his eyes, because all of a sudden Taven Sparks is like reaching back behind him with that ball coming. He was ducking in thinking I had an easy layup, and he did. Rangeview's defense a little slow to get back. They've been good in transition, but again, their penetration moves and the reverse won't go, as Saunders got a nice pass from Trey Bridges. Now all alone. Sparks to finish. And as soon as I say it, that they've been good in transition, suddenly Sparks cherry picks. Lead of 20. A lot of time still left here. Solaren will shoot from way out there, and that's why you see Trotman on him. Gave him a little room. Solaren can't finish. Oh, nice finish. Jeremiah Page flying in there, will finish it off. Well, that stops an 11-0 run by Arapahoe. And it certainly isn't too little too late if they could get a few more defensive stops. Got to find a way to knock it down and get that offense stepping up. 28% in the first half from the field, doesn't get it done. And out of bounds it goes. It stays with Arapahoe. Boy, Jeremiah Page, the sophomore, can fly. That was a nice follow on the miss there. Sparks will give it up, and it'll be Thomas Trotman, the junior, running things. Sparks went all the way around underneath. Couple of backdoor cuts. Arapahoe's been able to put some points on the board with easy layups now. Jensen tried to drive his way in. Oh, traveled. Ball got caught on the hip before it hit the floor. So 3:05 to go. There's still a lot of time left. Altogether, 11 minutes, 5 seconds to go here in this second half for the game. So Rangeview has time. They can put some points up on the board. You're down by 18, though, and one shot's not going to get you back in, though. So you've got to find a way. I like the way they were driving inside. Getting inside, making Arapahoe have to make a decision. Foul them or get in their way, and they kick the ball out to an open shooter. We haven't seen as much of that. There's Bridges inside, spin move, back out into Saunders. Saunders, tough shot, left hand, won't go. Loose ball, a couple of Arapahoe guys fighting for it there. Saunders with it again, will kick it back out. And that's a travel. Page started to get up in the air. Now, you'd think as you jump you can put the ball down because you haven't dribbled yet. No. Once you start to make that intent of shooting, you got to pass it or you got to shoot it. So another turnover, and that's pushing near 10 now for Rangeview. Coker, look at that man-to-man by Page now. No pick. Walsh looking for the back door. It's not there. Albin will give it to Peterson. 2:20 to go here in the third. And again, Arapahoe doesn't mind taking a little time off that clock. Just keep running people through. Look for the back door cuts. Albin, nice bounce pass underneath. He got bumped from behind. That heads out of bounds. It'll be Rangeview basketball. There's a defensive stop right there. Now you need about 9 more of those. And the scoring has gone down to a slow pace. Arapahoe. There's a 3 up, and Bridges catches, shoots, finishes. Got a little 4-0 run here. Now, it's been a 12-6 run to open up the quarter for Arapahoe. So Rangeview now got a couple stops. Got the stop there. There's a 3, and Coker knocks it down. Got a nice pick from Walsh that time, and Coker drops it. That's his 3rd three-pointer here tonight, and those will kill you. And Rangeview did everything right defensively. Tough shot, ran into Albin, went ahead, finished it off anyway. But you're matching 3s with 2s here. Got to get another defensive stop. That lead is still up there at 17. Peterson on Solera, there's Albin, and back to Coker. Coker got a pick, drive inside, he'll finish. Got no help. Solera and Page were late getting over there. And that's going to go against Peterson. He's riding him with that forearm. And again, high school basketball. This isn't the pros. Referees don't care if you just have the arm bar. You're not supposed to hand check, but you can arm bar in the pros. So this is high school basketball. You can't ride a guy as he goes through the lane. It's as simple as that. Pointed out that you see the arc that's underneath the basket there. Each basket, where in college you're not allowed to take a charge there. Well, in high school you can. Little purer form of sports, if I do say so myself, but I cover mainly high school sports, so I can say that. Solera, tough shot, partially blocked by Albin. He got a hand on it. Now Bridges inside, switched to the left, couldn't finish. Now Jensen with it. Doesn't have the numbers. Is he still going to try to get inside? Nope. Over it comes. Albin stepped in. Still got that baseline. Nothing there. Little head fake. Albin trying to finish, and will go to the free throw line. Mitch Albin with a couple of rebounds here tonight. He's got a bucket where in the first half caught it at the free throw line. He was a high post turnaround. Nobody was on him. He was shocked. Hit a little runner from about 5 feet. Page with 3 personals, and now Solera with 2. And you've got to sit Jeremiah Page down the last 23 seconds here, at least for the quarter, but they're not going to. They're going to leave him in. He's playing with 3, though. One more. And he'll knock it down. 1 for 2 from the line, and the lead, the biggest. It's 20 points now. Solera, that's an NBA 3. He knocked one down in the first half. Can't quite find the mark. And it gives Arapahoe another chance to score here. Last 9. Pull up, Trotman. Missed it short, ball tipped up into the air. Scramble for it, Ely had it for a moment. They reach inside, and the foul, I believe. Yep, they're going to go ahead and whistle it on Chad Irvine. Irvine just trying to get a hold of that ball. A smart job by Harris, too, or Ely, that is he don't just stand there and let him get the hand on the ball. You start moving, he's going to get an arm in there, and that's what happened. 2 seconds to go. Well, they got it into Page. Going to have to shoot this from almost half court, and will. Not enough on it. A 20-point lead for Rangeview, or excuse me, for Arapahoe, and Rangeview is going to have a lot of work to do here as a 19-point run for Arapahoe in that quarter. 19-8 run. Quick timeout. We'll come back as Arapahoe's up with 8 minutes left to go to see who moves on to the state championship game. CU Event Center here. Look at there. Fans kind of filtering in. Boy, you can see a lot of them right down underneath our cameras there. Onto the other side. Not bad mix of folks making their way up here. We've got one more game tonight. Highlands Ranch. Oh, a steal there by Bobsey as he goes up Solera and will swat it away. Out of bounds it goes, and it'll stay with Arapahoe. Great block by Solera. Good recovery to get back there. Whew. Bobsey, we mentioned, went ahead. He was trying to draw the foul. Referee's going to let that go a little bit. There's been a little contact here tonight. In the second half for Rangeview, they 3 for 15. Their shooting percentage got worse in the second half. 3 for 15 from the field, 20%. Jensen too hard, and Walsh just going to pull that out. Up top to Bobsey, now Jensen again. Tried to scoop it underneath. Harris got a finger on it, so it'll stay with Arapahoe. For the game, Rangeview shooting just 25% from the field. And it's not because they're launching a bunch of threes. They're only 1 for 3 from outside the arc. They haven't been able to get anything to fall. In the meantime, in that second half, Arapahoe 7 for 14. And there's a nice alley-oop on the inbounds. And the lead, the biggest, at 22 now. Bridges kicks to the side. That's a 2. Ely can't knock it down. Boy, the shooting woes continue. Arapahoe, 50% in the second half. They're shooting 45%. And they forced 9 turnovers by Rangeview. Now, Arapahoe's had 9 turnovers as well. Not as devastating. Arapahoe with 12 points off those 9 turnovers. That's not the difference. The difference is the defense Arapahoe's been able to have and how cold that Rangeview has been. Ely, good sportsmanship, wanted to help up. Didn't agree with the call, but wanted to help Shane Jensen up. He got knocked down. The legs just got tangled up as they went up high for the ball, and that is the 4th foul on Tim Ely. So Ely with 4, Page with 3. Harris is going to have to come in here probably for Ely as Jensen will go to the free throw line. Now this is a 1-and-1 opportunity here. 17 foul against Rangeview, but boy, they've started to really show up in the books too. 7:16 to go in the game, and Arapahoe's back at the free throw line here, and Jensen will knock it down and get another one. Arapahoe fans, well, not a lot of jumping and hooting and hollering. Don't need to when you're up by 23 points. This is a bit of a shocker. Rangeview fought through a tough Cherry Creek club in the grade 8 last weekend. We saw them get down in that one. And Page will jump up, get the rebound here, but they have not been able to find their mark yet. Spin inside, Page, tough shot with the left hand there. Trey Bridges, right place, right time. He's got himself a couple of offensive boards. How about that? Little 6-0 run to end the half, and then a quick 3-0 run to open up the quarter, but the timeout here called by Arapahoe, or excuse me, by the Raiders here from Rangeview, and Coach Sean Palmer. Boy, look at, that's a couple of offensive boards that we've seen from Trey Bridges. He's got 6 rebounds tonight. Matter of fact, he's got 4 offensive boards altogether. just kind of hanging out down there, gets in good position, watches where the ball's going up, and reads the angles. Bridges has really, Trey Bridges has been a real superstar tonight for Rangeview on a night when everybody's been cold. He has too. He is 3 for 8 now from the field. He's got 6 points, but he's got 6 rebounds. Shortest guy on the court, basically. And he's got 7 rebounds now and 4 offensive boards. Never say die. Still a lot of time left. It's high school basketball. Weird things happen. Basketball, you know, can certainly be a game of runs. But it's been mostly Arapahoe here this evening from the CU Event Center. Sparks, nearly threw that one away. Coker wasn't ready for that. He wanted to cut through the lane. Again, they're spreading the floor a little bit. They don't mind using a little bit of the clock. Still a lot of time left, but again, it's about being patient. Bobzine inside, straight away. Oh, he couldn't finish that one off. Loose ball. Sparks is going to get to it. How about Coker? The 3. Too hard. Tried to get in there, ended up running into Johnson. Coker going to get whistled for the foul, and that is 4 on him. Just trying to track down a loose ball that had come off, so a little bit of trouble. Sparks will sit down. Trotman will check back in. That's Thomas Trotman, the junior. Trey Bridges will walk it up here for Rangeview. Raider fans trying to get something going. You can hear him in the background cheering. Bridges, there's that penetration spin move. Got it ripped away by Jensen. Whoop, and then poked away by Solaren from behind. Back to Solaren, he'll shoot the 3. Missed it short. And Trotman got fouled from behind by Bridges. Trey Bridges, that'll just be his first, but we're shooting free throws already. 18 fouls now against Rangeview. And the Raiders not in it yet. Arapahoe only with 5 team fouls to this point. 6 minutes left to go. We say it, we've seen stranger games. Weird things happen, but when you're up by 21, and missed that one, you should end up winning with 6 minutes left. There's Johnson. Boy, what a feed from up top. Johnson finishes it off. Another little 4-0 run. Cut the lead to 19, but they don't get back in transition, and Jensen burns them for it. They're trying to run, speed things up. Solaren walked. Bumped into Jensen. Jensen was backing up. And he took one extra step that time. You could see it. He was hoping that he'd draw the foul. Instead, the referees, again, as we said, they've let a lot of that contact go. It's been a well-officiated game here tonight. I know if you're on the Rangeview side of things, you could say, no, not necessarily. But overall, even up, they've let both teams kind of bang into each other, and not just under the boards. They've let a little contact go by players as they pull up for jumpers or drive inside the lane. So you got to be tough. It's not playground ball, but it's close. Coker driving through, and that's going to go against Page, and a technical foul. It's going to go against Jeremiah Page. Second technical against Rangeview here this evening. And just too much talk, and after the fact, Jeremiah Page, you can imagine the sophomore is upset. And that is, as it ends up, a technical foul is counted as a personal foul as well, and he is fouled out of the game with 5:13 left to go. Well, the super sophomore who really played a very nice game against Cherry Creek. Paige finished with 16 points, 3 rebounds, was really the spark for that club as they beat Cherry Creek to get here to the Final Four. It's been a tough night for him as Zach Coker knocks down the first of 2 free throws that he'll have coming, and may have a little bit more. I think he is shooting right now the bonus opportunity, and it's a double bonus. Got them both. Nope, Bob Zine was the one who was, nope, it'll be Coker, and this is the 2 technical fouls now. And this one just starts to just get way, way out of hand. Page, by the way, from the field, 3 for 8. Ends up with 10 points here tonight and 2 rebounds. But disappointing for the sophomore and disappointing for Rangeview, certainly. I mean, when you go that cold from the field, it is something. I saw something last week at the grade 8 with Rangeview playing against Cherry Creek, a 7-2 first quarter score in a 5A boys basketball game. And Rangeview was just as cold. They never snapped out of it here. Difference was last weekend they did. They were able to shoot enough and knock down enough shots to get back into it, and then they stepped it up and finished off the game. Looks like Dan Schneider and Arapahoe going to take the timeout here. On the other side of things for Arapahoe, they've kept their heads and they just slowly pulled ahead here. Big lead of the game now of 24 points. Arapahoe a 16-6 run in that first quarter. Rangeview actually outscored Arapahoe in the second quarter 17-16, but Arapahoe again, quick starters. 19-8 run that is in the third quarter, and have just pulled away. Rebounds have been fairly even. Turnovers even through the third quarter, and even to this point. A lot of that's been even, but certainly not the shooting percentage. Rangeview through the third quarter was shooting only 25%, 10 for 40. Even I can do that math. 10 for 40 from the field and 25%. Hey, don't forget, listening in here, like a DVD copy, you can order from all the games that we've been doing here from Boulder and the grade 8. It's prepfilms.com. Good keepsake. Instead of putting the pictures and cutting them out of the paper, which you can still do in a lot of places, now you just put it on a DVD or you put it on your hard drive. You can load that DVD up, put it on a hard drive. You'll have Arapahoe, the defense now sagging back a little bit. Solaren hadn't been able to knock down those threes like he was last week, and certainly through the season. He's pretty good to go when he walks out of that locker room. He can knock them down. Trotman through inside to Jensen. Whoop, Jensen lost that ball, and he bounced it right on the end line, so a turnover. Back it comes to Rangeview. You can see Gabe Solaren shaking the head. Heads down a little bit, just going, wow. We're doing everything that we can, and the ball's just not going through the cylinder. Johnson to the corner. And there's Larry Bridge, now to Trey Bridges. A little rustling here as the teams, and there's a three by Johnson. Cuts the lead to 21 here. They've got to stay after it defensively here. Try to get some more quick turnovers. Crowds for Chaparral and Highlands Ranch starting to arrive here. Student sections kind of starting to roll in a little bit, so you're going to see this place really fill up a little bit more. And that's what the constant buzz is. Otherwise, the two crowds fairly silent here because of how big the lead's been for Arapahoe. And now they'll burn a little more clock off. Now they really are going into the four corners to spread things out. Trotman, drive inside. Runner, missed it short. Tipped by Jensen, it won't go. Last to touch, Harris. He would try to stay with it. DJ couldn't get a grip on it though. Don't forget, 8:30 roundabout start here. There's a three by Walsh. Missed it short. Coker got the offensive board, kicks it out, they'll reset. Chaparral and Highlands Ranch, the other side of the bracket here in the Final Four. Bounce down to Jensen, and he'll finish it off with Larry Bridges all over him there, and the whistle's going in the pocket now when Arapahoe goes in. Bridges there, high shot. Harris can't finish that one off. Ball tipped out. Jensen's got it here. Oh, bad pass across the lane, and they finish now. Bridges can't finish it off anyway. And that's just the way the ball's bounced. Coker inside. Harris, they're going to let the contact go. He'll go with the reverse. 63-38. And the lead back to 25 now. Yeah, we checked the timing here. From the outside, the drive, and a foul down low that'll go against Walsh. Keeping an eye on some other scores that are going on around 1A, 2A, 3A. First round of their grade 8s going today. The Final Fours tomorrow, and the championships, of course, on Saturday. And all the starters, except for Trotman, are getting a curtain call here from the Arapahoe fans. How about that, huh? Jumper from the outside, and Johnson, and again, now they're just peppering with shots, and there's a foul. So to the free throw line with 2:26 left to go. Ely will go. He picked up late fouls in this one, but is able to kind of hang around and stay in this one. He got himself into a little foul trouble. He's got 4 now, but again, has not been able to do a lot inside. Arapahoe's defense doing a nice job on the penetration that the Raiders' offense is all about. And that is penetrate, take it to the hole if you need to, or kick it out. Find somebody standing outside the arc for the 3. It just didn't work tonight. In and out, Solaren, and it'll be Arapahoe basketball. 0 for 2 from the line for Ely, and the call actually will go for Rangeview in that one. Last to touch was Arapahoe. Ely, a junior, he'll be back next year. Solaren, long 3. Has not been able to find the mark there. Ball knocked out this time. It's Arapahoe's ball. Well, for Rangeview, Gabe Solaren, who's had a nice career at Rangeview, now playing his last game here on the court at CU. And a tough night, certainly. You'll remember getting to the Final Four. The step inside, the block by Saunders. The ball coming back up top. Some players we haven't seen in a while. Luke Weaver getting some playing time. Bounce into the near side. That's Irvine, and the drive inside, in and out. Up hard for the rebound. And Albin has it ripped away from him, and now lead to Solaren. Solaren to finish. And a quick timeout called here. Boy, you can see, never give up. Sean Palmer calling the timeout. And a timeout here as we finish this one out. (63-40). Colorado High School Activities Association. A wide open tournament here in Class 5A. We saw it going through the regular season. We kind of wondered how it's going to finish out. The defending state champions upset in the second round of the playoffs by Pooter, and then it was on. And then you just kind of wondered, wow. And the upsets kind of kept falling. So the top seed out of that region, gone. Fairview upset in the Sweet 16 by Mountain Vista, 78-74, and then Highlands Ranch beat Mountain Vista. Highlands Ranch, the number 2 seed, to get here. But 2 top seeds knocked out before we even got to the grade 8. And number 2 seeds didn't fare much better in this big bracket. Ralston Valley was knocked out in the Sweet 16 by Cherry Creek. Full court pressure again by Rangeview. As Weaver trying to bring that up, but travel, and we'll go back the other way with 1:43 left to go. So I have about 10 minutes in between games here where Chaparral and Highlands Ranch will line up for the second of 2 5A games tonight, and the right to meet what appears to be Arapahoe. for the 5A state championship. Warriors have never, and there's Saunders trying to finish it off with a dunk. We told you he could leap, but really hasn't been able to show it off tonight. We'll get a couple of free throws. Arapahoe's never won a state championship in boys basketball history. As long as the school has been around, they've never won a state championship, which does surprise me a little bit. Saunders will knock down the first free throw.
Checking into the game now for the Rangeview Raiders, number 24, DJ Harris, going in for the Arapahoe Warriors, number 2, Thomas.
We mentioned that Rangeview back in 1985 had won a state championship. That was when they were in Class 3A. On the game that's coming up here, Chaparral and Highlands Ranch, neither have won a state championship in boys basketball. Yes, the girls basketball team for Highlands Ranch has won 7. The boys have never won one, so. And the Chaparral girls, pretty good, particularly in volleyball. They've won a couple of state championships here over the last 12 years. So the boys are like little bragging rights there. Push inside. Whistle's not coming, and an offensive board there. Head fake, now you got to call it on DJ Harris. As you can see, the good strong move by Matt Glasscock.
Foul.
63-41. And it's been Arapahoe taking control here. Coming out of the intermission, they went on a 13-2 run, and that was it. That was the extent of it. Rangeview not able to fight back or get into it at all. And a miss and an offensive board. So they'll finish out the final minute here. Trotman, the lone starter, left out there on the floor. And the seniors out there for Rangeview, Saunders, Solera, Johnson are there. And of course, DJ Harris out there as well. Glasscock can't get it to go, and the rebound down to Trey Bridges. Bridges, the only underclassman out there, the sophomore. But the 4 seniors getting to play out their last high school game here with Rangeview. And it's bittersweet. You start to realize it. You see how far you're down. And now Coach Palmer says, let's get these guys in, give them an opportunity, these young guys. Talking about like Tim Wyatt, who's a freshman coming in. And he gives his seniors a chance for a little bit of a curtain call here from the Rangeview faithful. And Bridges can't knock down the free throw here. Peterson will bring it up. And let's see. We'll run a little bit of an offense here. The opportunity for some of these Rangeview guys to say, hey, we played on the floor in Boulder. Glasscock inside, and we'll finish it. Effort by Christian Garcia, the junior, could not get to him. Loose ball, and Arapahoe's got it, and they're just going to finish it out. 66-41, the final in this one. It was that 13-2 run that opened up the third quarter for Arapahoe, and their mission continues here. Top scorer will follow everyone here at the back of the line with the crutches. And it's amazing what they've been able to do without Tim Haas, and what they've been able to do certainly with Shane Jensen and Zach Coker. Leading scorers here tonight. Coker pushed it to near 20 here this evening. We'll get the final stats here in just a few moments as the stats will be walked over here. But the shooting percentage by Rangeview, only 25% through 3 quarters. And Arapahoe just put it on cruise control from that point and controlled it. They will play in the state championship game against the winner of our next contest. And that will be Chaparral and Highlands Ranch. It ought to be a pretty good one. For Arapahoe going for their first state championship and how they made it through, let's talk about Rangeview real quick before we wrap things up here. For Rangeview, cold shooting, but look back at what a season this Rangeview club had coming in here. To get to where they have been, 2 losses to their conference rivals in Aurora Central. Yet, going into the tournament as a 4 seed and coming all the way here out of the region of 4 seed. 22-5 is where they end their season, and they end it where only 4 teams from Class 5A are able to end their season. And that is really saying an awful lot. Final stats here before we wrap things up, and we'll do that very quickly. For Rangeview, first of all, they were led by Jeremiah Page. He fouled out with a little over 5 minutes left to go in the game, though, after getting a foul and then a technical foul. 10 points and 4 rebounds. The shooting percentage, 26% for Rangeview for the entire game. Everybody else in single digits. Gabe Solarin and Jordan Johnson finished with 7 points, and Trey Bridges finished with 6. For Arapahoe, they were led by Zach Coker, 22 points, 5 rebounds. He hit 3 3-pointers. Shane Jensen not far behind, 19 points and 7 rebounds. He was 0 for 5 from outside the arc. Everything was really scored inside the lane. And the only 2 guys in double digits, Evan Walsh finished with 8 points. He hit 2 big 3-pointers early on in that first half to really get Arapahoe going. And the Warriors only shot 41% from the field, but that was certainly good enough. They actually turned the ball over 14 times. When you've got a team that only shoots 28%, that's tough. Final in this one, 66-41. Arapahoe moving on to the state championship Saturday as they knock off Rangeview. We'll see you back here in about 9 minutes for the 8:30 start of Chaparral and Highlands Ranch. I'm Corey Lopez. We'll talk to you in a bit here from the CU Event Center.